Hello traders, this is Rich from tradesight. Here's a look at our market leading stocks via our proprietary scans for the coming session. This is going to be for Thursday, January 30th, 2015. What we have here is not a lot of signals considering the design of the day. Note that I'm putting this up a little bit late tonight, so we're already seeing some post-market activity reflected. You can see Qualcomm is not 10% below the open, it's 10% below the close. The previous day's open and on volume. So some of these things are a little bit skewed because I couldn't get to this earlier. But you can see we do have a number of volume bumps. Obviously, there's a volume bump in Apple, and it closed fairly poorly today, but it did close still up on the day. I think the real takeaway here is the complete absence of buy signals in the Nasdaq patch here. Looking at the financials, financials are pretty ugly. A lot of downside CPS conditions. You can see the open-close deviations here that are stacked up. We even had a couple of VWAP deviations. So the financials were definitely leading the charge to the downside in the broad market as the day went on for Wednesday. Energy names were very, very weak, turning down for the first time in a number of days. So there's a lot of range and a lot of movement. The only good thing for the energy patch, for the bulls anyway, is that there aren't a lot of downside continuation signals today. Right now we're kind of paired off on a couple of things that wound up in conflict, but we don't have those outright sells for tomorrow. The generals kind of paired off too between buys and sells. There are a couple of volume bumps, so we'll have to work with that tomorrow. VMware, keep an eye on that. That's at range low. Traded a lot of volume today. We did have a nice short in that one. That worked out pretty well. But that one's a very, very good trader. Trades along with IBM quite a bit, so I would definitely keep an eye on that one. Housing names were fairly weak. Hovnanian was the weakest of them, but it was on fairly light volume, so that's the only small positive. The transports were also fairly weak. CSX, American Airlines, very, very weak on the day. So keep an eye on those. Many of these airlines are just starting to roll down from range high. There's a lot of room there still. Commodities kind of paired up between buys and sells. Not a lot of indications there for tomorrow. We did have a volume bump in U.S. steel following earnings and potash as well. U.S. steel, Freeport copper, things like that are all at range low and could produce an upside rally at any point, but still remains elusive for the bulls. All right, folks, as always, thanks for listening. This has been Rich for tradesight.